Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. This is Master RBG, and I gotta tell ya, I was in no way, shape, or form prepared for this winter. First, my schedule goes way off rails back in December, and then most of my recording and editing equipment breaks down earlier this month. And now on top of everything else, I'm also sick. Never rains, but it always pours. Or, I suppose, given the season, snows. But of course, that's not going to deter me, because as the old saying goes, the show must go on. And go on it shall. With a wonderful winter theme to boot. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I can't really call this video a full review. Let's call it a mini review for a game called Snowball. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so couple things you should know about this game before we really get hot and heavy into this. So, the first thing, obviously, is that this is a very small indie game. Like, okay, granted, most of this channel is dedicated to indie games, but this is a very, very small one made during a game jam. What that means is this game was made over the course of somewhere between 24 and 72 hours. So, do bear in mind that while yes, it doesn't have a metric ton of different tables and things of that nature, in fact, this is the only table this pinball game has. Granted, it does have a lot of secrets and extra areas and stuff inside this one table, but it's all literally just this one table. Granted, it's pretty enjoyable. I don't know about you. I know some people when they're sick they have comfort food. For me, this is a comfort game. I like pinball. I really do. I'm sorry that there aren't more pinball games out there for me to do reviews on. I think the only other one I've ever done was for the Zen Studio Star Wars ones, which admittedly were a lot of fun. I got more copyright claims on that video than I'd ever care to mention, though. Sony, why? Anywho, this game was actually surprisingly fun. I did find it a little unfair that it started me without the ability to figure out exactly how the controls work, because the controller control options were down below where I couldn't see them at the beginning. So I'm basically learning how to play the game as I'm playing the game, which isn't necessarily a great thing, but it's alright. Also, I will say this, for keeping this all as a landscape situation instead of actually setting it up like it's inside a real pinball machine, it was kind of clever. They set up that little campfire underneath the bottom flippers, so that, oh, well, there's your excuse for why you lost your pinball, or snowball in this case. It fell into the fire and melted. Yep, can't get it back. Makes perfect sense. I will say it is not pitch perfect as far as how it handles versus a real pinball game. Although I've certainly played pinball games that have more floaty effects than this one, and this one actually has an excuse for why it feels floaty. It actually does, because these are literally snowballs. They're not metal balls inside a machine, so they should and could handle differently. Also kind of like the fact that the flippers are made of realistic materials you might be able to find in this environment. It's weird, but it's one of those little touches I appreciate. I also kind of like the fact that you can collect little blue crystals and what have you. I have no idea what they do other than adding to your score. But hey, it's still a cool thing. There is one element that had me confused for a good long time. There's a little bit with a mine cart on the right over there. You can kind of see it from where I am. Yeah. It took me a little bit to figure out how the devil to use that segment. Still cool, and definitely racks up some heckified bonus points, but yeah, could have been explained a little better. But hey, for a game made in at most maybe 3 days, this is fan-freaking-tastic. Also, the soundtrack's not bad either. Not gonna lie, I'm not sure which I'm more impressed by. But again, the fact that somebody, anybody, any group of people could have done this in only a matter of days boggles the mind. It truly does. Almost makes me want to try out my hand at game development, but I honestly don't think anything I would ever make would be anywhere near this good. It's a fun little game, and honestly, considering at most you would pay $3 for this, it's not bad. It's really not. I realize this video probably won't get a metric ton of views just because it's a $3 game. You're not going to waste your time looking up a review for it, which is why I'm not dedicating a full-length video review to one. Well, to this one. You know what I mean. Still, I think it's an interesting game, and in case you haven't heard of it before, well, now you have. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Snowball. It's not the biggest pinball game in the world, and it's certainly not the worst, but it's an interesting experience. It's small, but kind of down and homey kind of feeling, which is why I chose to play it this week, because I can. Anywho, the game runs for about $3, runs on Mac and PC. It's also available on Android and iOS for $2, I believe. Feel reasonably sure about that. Again, if you're a very casual pinball fan, you might enjoy this one. If you're a hardcore pinball fan, this one might not be to your liking, just because it is not a truly authentic pinball experience. It's kind of weird and kind of silly, but it was interesting. Might be worth giving a shot. If you don't like it at $3, wait till it's on sale. Although, really and truly, $3, really? It's really not that much. You probably spend more than that on energy drinks this week. Who are we kidding? Anywho, that about does it for me this week, guys. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my nonsense in the future, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you'd like some suggestions for other videos made by yours truly, then how about these? Over here, you can check out my previous review for a little party game called Muddle Dash. Or you can check out over here and look at my review for a weird little puzzle game called Felix the Reaper. Check out either one, they're both fantastic, just like you guys have been. Until next time, this is Master RBG, signing off.